Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask. Today, let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, January the 30th, National Croissant Day. Ooh, I like those. Mm-hmm. Man, they're good. It's also National Seed Swap Day on Saturday. Sunday, the final day of the month, January 31st, National Backward Day, National Hot Chocolate Day, and National Inspire Your Heart with Art Day.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. And I've got a guest joining me. Very nice guy. I had a chance to chat with him ahead of time, kind of getting things ready for this. His name is Kevin Williams, and he's a very rare triple franchisee for Chick-fil-A. That doesn't happen often. Usually they own one store.
Right,
There's some
I thought
people,
you weren't allowed to order.
Well, there's some people that own two. He has three, and we're going to find out a little bit about that. But that's not really what the interview is about. The interview is about his new book, Irrational Kindness, the crazy pursuit of an extraordinary life. I'm excited to chat with Kevin Williams coming up in a little bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. A group of scientists believed that cats and dogs will need to be vaccinated to stop the spread of COVID. So they're saying once people get vaccinated, we might need to also vaccinate our dogs and cats. So there's not everybody. It says a group of scientists. So not everybody agrees on this one yet. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens here. And let's move on over here. A new survey from the CDC estimates that 1 in 5 Americans have an STD, a sexually transmitted disease.
1 in 5.
It's 25 or 20%, if my math is correct.
Yikes.
1 in 5. Is that right?
You know,
Yeah,
I gotta
20%.
say, I'm so glad I'm not dating anymore.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I have no.
No desire
No.
at all.
It's a weird world out there, Heidi.
That is.
You're stuck with me.
I'm okay with that.
She's my wife. I'm her husband. Can you believe it's almost our 21st anniversary?
First
'Cause,
anniversary.
like starting Monday, it's February, and our anniversary is in February, so it's dang near here. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
And this is your brain on drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Police arrested a man during a traffic stop after they found an clown mask and some marijuana and a gun in his car.
Oh.
They made the stop at 12:05 p.m., which is right after noon, right?
Yeah.
See, I always get the AM and PM mixed up on that. But yeah, it was right afternoon. Searched his vehicle, found a fully loaded AR-15 hidden in a bag in the back seat. They also found a 50-round drum with 1 bullet in the chamber. They also found multiple drugs and other weapons violations that they had there. They said it was a great traffic stop that took an illegal and dangerous weapon off the street. He was also carrying drugs and, for whatever reason, a mask, a clown mask. So
What is up with weirdos and clown masks?
I don't know, but and there's a lot of awesome clowns out there, so it's not all clowns are bad.
I know, but
there's a lot of weird people that are doing it.
It seems like the weird people really, for whatever reason.
But they say this is another positive outcome in keeping the citizens safe. Thanks for listening. That is what happens, by the way, when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. We'll start with this one. Spanish actress Charo. Remember Charo?
I do remember Charo.
She
I
says
liked her. She was always on the Love Boat.
Yeah, she says the Hilaria Baldwin scandal is funny. Ms. Baldwin was caught over the Christmas break claiming to be Spanish when it turns out
It really
she's
kinda
not
is funny.
Spanish. She's from Massachusetts,
in
I
a
believe.
sad kind of
But
way.
For some reason, they said, you know who we need to get a comment from? Charo. So I'm not sure why. WGN America is changing their name to the News Station, and they're planning to compete with CNN and Fox and MSNBC and the plethora of other news channels. Okay. But News Nation says they will report the news with no bias and with no opinion.
Wouldn't that be nice?
So we'll see.
I'll
I think that would be cool.
when I see it, but it would be lovely and refreshing.
So I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. I don't know any more than what I just said, but it's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org. GameStop's stock shot up 93% this last week. There was something that was going on Reddit. Investors battled with hedge fund managers, and they tried to short the stock. Anyway, it didn't end well for several people. They were very angry.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Because the way that all ended. I've got a link to that story. But I also want to remind you, I shared last week, I don't know if you saw this, but I shared a very funny video. A young lady that made a hilarious video where she was trying to explain it in just, simple terms that everybody can understand. And the video turned into
super cute.
Such a funny video. It got shared a bunch. I did share that. I don't remember what day that was. It was sometime this last week. It's at facebook.com/JohnandHeidiShow if you want to see the video. My favorite part of it, though, was Elon Musk
replied to her,
who was just recently the richest man in the world. Now he's number 2 again, but he chimed in, and then she said, hey, this isn't a place to make jokes. Now, if you want some financial advice, I'll help you. But, no jokes here, Elon. Which, to say
pretty
that
funny.
To
yeah.
second wealthiest man in the world, I just thought that was so funny. Apple's quarterly earnings far exceeded sales expectations, so that's a good thing. Failing to make your bed in the morning may actually help keep you healthy, according to scientists.
What?
Researchers say that while an unmade bed may look scruffy and unappealing, but it's also unappealing to dust mites that cause asthma and other allergens. According to a study from Kingston University, they discovered bugs like bed bugs and whatnot cannot survive in the warm, dry conditions found in an unmade bed. The average bed could be home, are you ready for this? To 1.5 million dust mites.
I'm not buying the whole unmade bed things. I don't think you're going to get away
The bugs, which are a little less than a millimeter long, feed on scales of human skin and produce allergens, which are easily inhaled during sleep. The warm, damp conditions created in an occupied bed are ideal for the creatures, but they are less likely to thrive when the moisture is shorter in supply by leaving the bed not made. So There you go. Now you know. Hey, I've got one more story to get to. A guy in the United Kingdom stole a car battery. And now to remove his DNA from the crime scene, he sprayed a fire extinguisher at the car's engine, which, by the way, did not remove his DNA. A few years ago, this same guy left a soft drink can behind at a crime scene after swigging it during a burglary, and the can had his fingerprints on it. So this guy has not done a very good job of covering his tracks. He's tried real hard, but he's so far
A for effort.
Not doing well. No, I'm not even getting an A for it. I'll give him a B- for effort. There you go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with our guest today, Mr. Kevin Williams. He is a rare triple franchisee of Chick-fil-A, and he's got a book out. It's called Irrational Kindness, The Crazy Pursuit of an Extraordinary Life. Mr. Williams, how are you, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Absolutely. Excited to visit with you. you. And now, first of all, let's talk about the being a triple franchisee, because that's not something that's very common. A lot of people with a franchisee with Chick-fil-A for sure have like one location, and there's some families that maybe end up with two, but it's pretty rare to have three. How in the world did that come together?
Well, it really started as an adventure. I never planned to be, have three Chick-fil-A's, because Truett Cathy, who founded Chick-fil-A in 1946, when he started his Dwarf Grill. It was a really small restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia. And then in 1967, he launched Chick-fil-A and really set up this unique franchise model where each person would have one restaurant, but also, and they would work in that restaurant, be very active in it. But then they would, but he made it where you didn't need. He made it less about needing money and about finding young people that really wanted to be a part of something that's a different business model than was out there. And so I jumped in when I got the chance, and then over time it's just kind of changed. As Chick-fil-A's grown more locations, they've opened the door to the possibility of owning two, and then they opened the door in some rare circumstances to have three. And so we were able to jump into that adventure a few years ago.
Now you've got this book, Irrational Kindness, The Crazy Pursuit of an Extraordinary Life. You can be a blessing to people who don't even necessarily come in and work for you. You can be a blessing to millions, which is really kind of a neat thing.
Yeah, the spirit behind the book started when I do a coffee with Kevin, I call it. It's a time where I sit and it's my connection with, we have about 350 people that work with us, and it's my time to connect with each of them so I can have not just share some values and principles and purpose that we're trying to do at work, but to really pour into them personally and let them know, hey, we're on this journey together, wherever it takes you. If your career ends up with Chick-fil-A, that's awesome. If your career takes you to be a mom or a teacher or a doctor or an artist, we're cheering you on no matter where your dreams are. And so it was through that spirit that I said, hey, what if we did our own book? I would give books of other people's at the end of those, and I said, what if we started telling our own story? That was the journey that started it.
And in the book, there's 5 simple ways to show kindness, but instead of going through those, let's talk about this. It says, nice people finish first. Why is that? Why do you think that is, that people that are nice tend to do better in life?
Well, it's easy to point fingers. I love health inspectors. I've thought, health inspectors at Chick-fil-A, when they come in and evaluate us, it's a beautiful thing. And I like it for other restaurants, because I want to know when I go eat somewhere, they're following the rules. But for me, I don't feel like I have to be a health inspector in everybody's life. And I don't have to tell everybody what you need to do. When I find I'm on a journey with a 16-year-old and talk to them about, hey, I'm here to cheer you on, definitely set an expectation that's higher, because I think people rise up to the expectation that we set, but also come along and let them know, hey, we care about you. We're going to assume the best. We're not going to assume you're just a 16, a young person that, doesn't care, is lazy. I'm going to walk alongside you. I find when you do that, you change your perspective in yourself, then I find that people will just really fight very hard for you. It doesn't mean we're not going to have some candid talks at times. It just means I'm going to lead with a lot more kindness and care for them as a person and not a commodity. The same beautiful thing goes for guests. You see a guest not as a transaction. It's easy to do in the fast food. I'm sure, John, you see it all the time. You go somewhere and you're just a number for them, and they're trying to move through their job. But when you see that perspective change and start to see the guest and start seeing them, we call it a kindness pause, where you just take a second and take a deep breath. And then, you got your job you're doing, but if you can just take 2 seconds and see the person in front of you and thank them, lift them up in your smile, but also lift them up in your words. I think that's the beauty of changing everything about the job, the employee, and the business and the relationship.
I agree completely. Again, our guest today, Mr. Kevin Williams. The book is called Irrational Kindness, The Crazy Pursuit of an Extraordinary Life. I'm going to throw a link to that in the show notes to make it easy to find. Mr. Williams, thank you again for your time today.
Thanks for what y'all are doing. Keep being awesome.
Well, we will do our very best. Again, I'll throw a link to the book in the show notes for today. You can find that at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The average person will laugh how many times a day?
54.
No, only 10.
Oh, that's really
We are
sad.
so far
We are
above.
way above average.
I have you laughing more than 10 times before, like, the first hour has
We
even
laugh a
gone
lot
by.
in
We
our
do.
house.
We usually laugh at
It's
each other
super
instead of with each other.
important.
But
It's really important.
quite often you laugh at me. You're like, what are you laughing
Usually.
about? Did you just try to do that? I'm like, yeah, why? Like, why would you try to do that? I don't know. I thought it was a perfectly good thing to do. We've been married almost 21 years. That's what happens. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline Mexico. President of Mexico has tested positive for COVID, but he says he is feeling optimistic. So that's good to know that he's feeling optimistic.
That's good.
There's been a lot of COVID news coming out of Mexico that's not great. And then there have been like a bunch of restrictions that they weren't following and people were doing kind of whatever they want. It even kind of became a haven for people who are going, you know what, I want to go to the Wild West and just do what I want wherever I want. So it'll be interesting to see if any of that changes now that he has tested positive for COVID. I do have a link to the story. You can find it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A New Mexico man is facing federal charges for holding up a mail carrier at gunpoint.
For what?
I don't know. Says he was delivering mail last week when an armed man forced him to hand over the keys to the mail truck, and then he made off with mail and packages. He said he could see what looked like more mail already in the man's car. They identified the man as a 20-year-old Cisco something. He's facing federal charges of assault on a mail carrier and mail theft. Comes on the heels of a number of local mail carrier robberies in recent months, including one just a few days earlier. It's not clear whether any of these robberies in that area are related, but I would assume so, but you just don't know.
Okay, so I don't know about the mail of all of our listeners, but
Yeah.
the
Our
majority
mail
of the
is
mail
never-
that we get is all bills.
Yeah, and it's
if
never-
somebody would like to take those
Never
off
too
of my
exciting.
hands.
And then if there is ever like a check or something, it's not much. And even
No.
if it is, it's like it's made out to us. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of that works, but it's definitely today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. An angry McDonald's customer called the police after missing out on a breakfast when she got stuck in line at the drive-thru.
Again.
So a woman was left fuming when she arrived to the window at 11 a.m. and she got there just after the cutoff to find out breakfast is no longer being served now. She called police at 11:30 to complain about how unfair it was the staff refused to serve her a McMuffin. Unimpressed, officers weren't having any of it, warned her that, hey, it's not a police matter.
It's not.
No, it is not. They posted on Twitter a call at 11:30 this morning from an angry lady who stated due to the queue at McDonald's drive-thru, by the time she got to the window, breakfast service stopped and she couldn't order breakfast. The lady was given words of advice about ringing the police. That's the Twitter post, so.
I do have to say the McMuffin is a work of
It's yummy.
pure magic.
Would you call the police, though, if you got there
Oh,
late?
no.
I mean, it's not. What are they going to do? Say, okay, well, we're going to send 7 squad cars over there
Yeah.
right now. I mean, no. I don't know what she thought was going to happen. It's today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At insurancechickened.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at insurancechickened.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's insurancechickened.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, this might quite possibly be the final fake news or Florida ever. We'll see. We'll see.
That.
Well, we'll see what happens.
All
Again,
right.
folks, if you want, you can chime in on our Facebook page and let me know what you think. Facebook.com/JohnandHeidiShow. But Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I am ready.
Fake news or Florida. A Florida woman accidentally destroyed an entire new home that was under construction when she backed into a job site, snagged an extension cord. When it hooked her bumper, she pulled away and yanked down all of the walls. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
It is fake news.
Yeah, that was a little obvious.
A little too much.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Hey, I got to tell you, but you know what that was based on? A friend of mine actually shared a photo online. He backed up, and thank goodness he hit his own hedges. He hadn't removed the Christmas lights yet from his house.
Okay.
And he backed his vehicle up and hooked the Christmas lights on the back bumper. He drove to work 15 miles. He got out of his vehicle and looked back, and there's Christmas lights. He's like, well,
that's hilarious.
anyone needs help removing their Christmas lights, I can
That's
come right over.
awesome.
So it was based a little bit on truth, but yeah, it is definitely today's fake news from today's fake news or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. I love these stories. Comes your way courtesy right now of giftcardchallenge.org, and that's a place where anybody, anywhere, can make their own good news. And I've got this story right here. COVID bandit leaves $1,400 tip for the staff at a restaurant. How cool is that? A place called Not Chop Bakery and Cafe. Customer came in, had some breakfast. When we received the bill, he asked the waitress, hey, how many people are working here? And then they ended up leaving a $1,400 tip with instructions to give each one of the 7 employees $200.
Oh.
How cool is that? You can read the note on here because it's like a handwritten note on the receipt. It says, it truly brought tears to all the servers and cooks' eyes. It says, nobody ever thinks of cooks. And the cooks were just so surprised and shocked. We were all shocked. We did thank him, but I feel like we didn't do enough. According to the staff, the customer had only been there one time before this incident. So this was only the second trip in there. They posted a photo of the grateful staff on their Facebook page and said, thank you, COVID Bandit, for your generous gift to our staff. You have touched many lives.
That's fantastic.
That really is. And I love the photo on here. Everybody looks so darn happy.
Yeah.
And then there's a little smiley face that he's written on the receipt. So he had a $20 tab. It was $20.04. So $20.04 made out the ticket for $1,420.04.
Wouldn't it be so amazing to have?
It would be.
The ability to be able to do
that.
Those
it
kinds
really
of
would be.
things.
And I anytime I can, I try to do, a little above and a little beyond because people are pretty darn awesome. Mm-hmm. And I've been so many places where service has just been amazing. And when you do that, again, I'm not in a position to do $1,400. I wish I was.
It would be lovely.
It is really cool. If you are in a position to do something nice for somebody, this will make you feel really good too. I do have a link to the story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.